Okay, so today we're going to be creating a cute cactus character. Hopefully it's going to be pretty easy because we're just using different shapes. We also are going to be using the line segment tool and the warp effect to kind of create this cute little character. So we have to start off with creating our artboard. So I'm going to click New File, and on this one, let's see, it's going to be pixels. And then 600 by 600. And then we're going to do the RGB color. This time we're going to set it to high, and then the default's fine. I'm going to click create. So now we have our little square here. And then step two, on the tools panel, you can find the rectangle tool. So in order to look like mine, you have to go to Window, Workspace, and then Essentials Classic. And if you need to, do Reset Essentials Classic. So then you have your rectangle selected. It says to take the tool, and then in the middle of your board, draw a rectangle similar to this one. So there's no size that you have to do. There you go. And then we're going to take off the stroke color, and then double click on our fill and fill it in with this color. So it's going to be 101, 35, and 0. So it's going to go from that to that. So then in step 5, we're going to keep this selected and then go to Effect, Warp, Arc, and it's going to be horizontal. The bend is actually going to stay at 0. And then our vertical is going to be at -10. That's what's going to give it this little shape. And then we're going to draw another little rectangle. And on this one, it's going to be 137 for the color, 48, and then 1. And that is going to give us a slightly lighter color to be the brim of our pot. And so then again, while this one's still selected, we're going to go to Effect. Oh, where'd it go? Warp, Arc. And then it's going to be 0, 0, and -5. Then you want to combine the two warped rectangles together so that it looks like that. So I can select both and just move them down. So then in part 2, we're going to create the cactus shape. So using our ellipses tool, which is under the rectangle shapes options here, we're going to draw this one out. And then for the color, it's going to be 153, on 39, and then 40. Then we're going to go to Effect, Warp, Arc. You guys should be really comfortable with the arc by the time we're done here. We're going to set it to -35 for our vertical. And then we're going to take our cactus shape and place it in the flower pot. I'm not worried about. There we go. So obviously it's a little off on our dimensions here. So I can select this and make it smaller for our pot. And then size this up to make it bigger. There we go. So then part 3 is going to be creating the eyes. We're going to take the ellipses tool, draw that out. And for our color, it's going to be straight zeros, which is black. And then we're going to add a small white circle. And the color code for white is 255 all the way down. If I hold down my shift key while sizing this, it'll keep it nice and round. So then I can select both and do Control C and Control V, and that's going to have 2 eyes. Now obviously this is a lot bigger than that one. If I want to make sure I keep them the same size, I'll copy and paste after I size it down. There we go. So then part 4 is going to be creating the mouth. We're going to get a black ellipses. And then go to Effect, Warp, Arc, and then still horizontal. This time though for the bend, it's going to be -60. There we go. And I can adjust it as I want. Let's see here. I'm just adjusting. So I'm just getting the shapes that I want before I move on. I need to be able to zoom in. I can do Control Plus to do this too. Okay. So then we're going to do the little prickles now. So this time I'm going to get my line segment tool. And then I'm going to click on my color and do 114, 114, and then 100, and 18. Okay. I'm going to take my stroke up to 4 points, or 3 points, sorry. If I go to view stroke, I can view that also. It's also over here if you ever need to look at it. So don't worry as much about this meter limit. That's not going to affect it too much. Okay, so using that line segment tool, though, I'm going to draw the prickles. And so this is just kind of up to you how many prickles you want on your cactus. Hold on. Notice I accidentally changed my eyeball over here. There we go. Okay, so got that back to normal. There we go. So what you just saw me do is that I accidentally had it selected. So you have to make sure you get off of that selection before you go on to something else, or else you'll accidentally mess with your shape. So again, get that line segment tool. Get my color back. Okay. And then I'll go in and draw my prickles. I'm just drawing random line segments right now. Because then I can go back in and move them around. So then we're going to create a flower for part 6. We're going to take the polygon tool, which is right here. Underneath your rectangle tool, you can do the drop down menu and it's going to be there. I'm going to click on my workspace and this is going to pop up. We're going to do 50 by 6 so that I can just click OK. So then I'm going to set my fill color and it's going to be 236 by 247 and then 245. And then I have to click over here on my stroke and hit this little none button so that it disappears. So then in order to make it look like a flower, we have to go to Effect, Distort and Transform, then Pucker and Bloat. And I'm going to set that up to 50%. And then I'll click OK. And that's how you make a little flower. And then the ellipses tool, we're going to go back for. And for that color, it's going to be 245, 237, and then 96. And then I can just move it to the center there. See, it even told me it was centered. So then I'm going to copy and paste. Size this down. And then for part 7, we're going to create a background. I'm going to come over here to my rectangle tool, draw this out. Or I can also just click and do 600 by 600. And then I'm going to go and change the color 145, 211, and then 206. And then I can do arrange, send it back. If I do Control A, it's going to select everything. Then I can hold down my Shift key and unselect the background so that I can center this up. And voila, you are done. That is our little cactus character. So then I can do File, Save. I'm going to save on my computer. Save it on my desktop. And then File, Export as, as a JPEG on my desktop. And then it's ready to turn in. There you go, all done.